A sweeping sell-off on Wall Street, capping off the market's worst week in 2 years. Stocks lost more than 2% in value after a long period of calm and record highs set just 1 week ago. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged 665 points to close near 25,520. The Nasdaq fell nearly 145 points, and the S&P 500 dropped almost 60. All this unfolded hours after news that the U.S. economy added 200,000 jobs in January, but that wages rose at the fastest pace in more than 8 years, fueling the fears of inflation and higher interest rates. For more on all this, we turn to Liz Ann Sonders of Charles Schwab. Liz Ann, thank you for joining us. So what happened?
Hi. So I think it was a number of things. One, you pointed out the year-over-year increase in average hourly earnings jumped up to 2.9%. You saw the 10-year Treasury yield in the U.S. Blow through 2.8% on the upside. And if you may remember, the last time we had a bit of a pullback in the market a week or so ago, it was when 10-year yields went above 2.7. So I think the flavor of the environment this year is just quite a bit different, where we're really starting to see some inflation develop some traction and concern that that's going to result in tighter monetary policy. But it's a 2% drop.
That's right, we have to keep that in mind. But Liz Ann, some people have been talking about a correction, a bubble in the market. Could that be what's going on here?
So I think, no, I don't think it's a bubble. What I do think was one of the problems that may have led to a bigger decline than maybe the fundamental suggestion was appropriate is that sentiment had gotten quite a bit frothy. So really, after 9 years of skepticism about this bull market, just in the last couple of months, we noticed a real significant turn in the sentiment of particularly individual investors. That excessive optimism kicked in. So I would argue some of the froth that had built up when we were in the melt-up phase of the market may have set the market up to have this kind of reaction to, admittedly, some changed news in terms of inflation.
So very quickly, do you expect that this is going to continue, this sell-off?
You know, Friday sell-offs are a little bit difficult. They do have a tendency to carry over into Monday. We may not be finished with this, but I don't think this is indicative of the next bear market coming. I think that will only happen when the stock market starts to sniff out the next recession, and we do not think that's on the horizon. But this is probably a healthy pullback.
Liz Ann Sonders of Charles Schwab, thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
And we will hear from Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen about the markets broadly in a rare interview later in the program.